Hello, Jed Bigler here, the armorer here at Devil Raider Armory. Today we're going to discuss an SKS, one with the bayonet. Yes, not all of them come with them, but that is simply put a bayonet. It's pretty long. My son loves this gun. He took it shooting the other day and it jammed up and he got a casing stuck. It wouldn't open. It wouldn't do anything. So he said, "Dad, fix it. You're a gunsmith." Okay, cool. So I'm going to show you the disassembly, cleaning, and reassembly of this. Starting with the first step we're going to go ahead and take out the cleaning rod that's attached to this gun, and then we're going to almost walk away from that end of the gun. So keeping the bayonet up. Oh, here, let me get a wider view here. All right, keeping the bayonet instead of out forward, keep it perpendicular to the barrel, and go ahead and slide out this cleaning. None of that was on video. Oh no! I'm gonna take the dust cover off with this little lever right here. This is the dust cover is solely purposed there to keep dust out of this thing and to hold on. And once we lift that up, rotate it out, and then lift it out, and then slide the dust cover back. Now we have the buffer spring that we're gonna take out. It's kind of like a semi-automatic pistol in itself. You gotta lift it up off the barrel, however. All right, so from there, we go ahead and take the bolt and trigger, the bolt carrier and the trigger sub-assembly out. All right, the easy thing on that is that's done. So next we're gonna deal with the piston that's in here, and then the gas piston that's right in this little section of the furniture and this pipe itself. This is all driven and held in together by this little lever right here. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna open it up to there, and we're gonna pop this out. Now, there's your piston, your gas piston. It protrudes out into this other piston that you'll see in a moment. So when everything's all said and done, the gas from the barrel in itself comes back, pushes the piston back, which also pushes this to unlock the chamber the next round. So taking my thumb and firmly pressing it in there, and I can depress this spring in here a little bit. Go ahead and flip that out, and then just ride it out. So that is that. Now we're going to go ahead and deal with the underneath of the gun, the trigger and the magazine. So I found the trigger to be a little difficult. It's really difficult. I want to go ahead and close this up and close these up right here. Close them down so that they don't come down here and get bent. I place a little block here to keep it off the rear sight so they don't get hurt. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna open up the magazine. The second thing is we're gonna put this in the safety so that there's some lugs right here. There's a safety lugs that keep this little thing from pushing in fire. So we have to have it in safety so that moves it out of the way, and then we can't shoot the gun. We can't fire the trigger at all. So the best thing that I found was patience. Patience goes a long way. So we want to take this lug right here. It's spring loaded, and it's got to move this way so that the thing can pop out. So it'll move forward and the trigger assembly will pop out. Pressing down on the trigger itself, pressing forward. You hear it click, there you go. From there you just slide it out and everything. There's your trigger assembly, and then the next thing is just go ahead and pull out the magazine. Following that, you could just take and unlift that, and there is a disassembled gun. Now we can go further if need be, but for the purposes of this video, I'm going to move this. The purposes of this video is to really get it into this configuration for a good cleaning. So from there, we're going to clean the barrel. We're going to send the 30 cal brush through, and then we're going to send some cleaning pads through it. We're going to scrub the inside of the receiver area. We're going to everywhere there's a hole, we're going to get rid of the carbon buildup. I have not cleaned this gun ever. So from there, now we're going to go ahead and assemble this gun. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to attach this, attach the receiver and the barrel to the stock. By doing that, again, we're going to place our little block there. We're going to keep that up off, and then we're going to just make sure that that's right and place that in there. All right, so that being stated, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and place our magazine, keeping it open, place it all the way down. So things to consider is there's a lug down here that this little area, notched area, it fits in there, and this area right here is held in by the trigger assembly. So keeping that open, sliding that forward, and making sure everything just really snaps into place. You'll see a little gap here. That's so that the magazine can go forward to the forward of the gun. The next thing we're going to do, and this, I find this to be the most difficult thing, is putting the trigger assembly in. So just pressing down, oh, right here, this lug right here goes forward, and then it comes in and it clicks into place. There's a spring down here keeping everything tight. All right, so from there, we're going to go ahead and flip the gun over. We're going to keep the magazine open because it works best that way. We'll be opening it and closing it and opening it and closing it. So we're just going to work from this area. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put in the this piston. Again, we're going to open this up all the way. Open it up all the way. It gets old. It gets to where it just hurts the tips of your finger. All right, get that in there, place it past it, and then click that thing down. All right, so remember the piston and everything. So now we're gonna establish that back into there. We have it on the last notch, and in the end result, we want this little hook right here. As you'll notice, it comes in and it dives this way. Well, there's a bevel right here, and it wants to rest in there. So we're gonna go ahead and, with the piston in, it only goes one way. I mean, it don't look right that way. It's not in there, all right? So, it only goes one way. We'll place that on the bevel here, and we're gonna slam it down. It's an SKS, it's okay to have a little bit of force. And we're gonna place that in there. All right, cool. So following that is, now we got the bolt and the trigger assembly. So placing those together. Now you can attempt all day long. You can attempt to place that in there and then place the bolt on there. Some people do it. I haven't found a good way to do it yet, so I just match everything up right there. Place, there's the front of the bolt. Now, with that, that's how simple that is. Now, if we would have locked this, it's not going to go. That's the main reason we keep the magazine unlocked. Once we have that in place, go ahead and lock that. All right, from here we got two parts to put together. We have the buffer spring, which is going to slide in here, and we need to be careful and make sure that this curvy end is forward of the gun and that this is the rear of the gun. Just how it is. Placing that in there and compressing the spring and putting it up here, locking it into place right there. And then finally for this, and then we'll talk about the cleaning rod, and I'll put that in. Open up the lever here, pull it out. If you can probably see it, probably not. Little protruding pin right there, keeping it from coming out and getting lost. So placing the dust cover on, putting that back in there and clicking that down. And then finally, again, keeping the bayonet perpendicular to the barrel. So placing that through the hole there underneath the bayonet and then into there. There's a little bevel here that just sits in. Once you have that here, it's in place. Another thing to keep in mind is If for some reason you want to go crazy on something, you can place it forward. It locks into place here, but it also still locks that beveled end or that flattened end out, so the thicker end out. That is the assembly of an SKS. I firmly believe that most failures too is due to cleaning. Again, my name is Jed Bigler. I'm the armorer here at Devil Raider Armory. This has been the disassembly, cleaning, and reassembly of an SKS.